Today's show is brought to you by Organifi, the best tasting green blend on the market. They're cold processed, guys, to retain all of the nutrients. And if you're looking to fill all the nutritional gaps and buffer out that new stress that your body has to deal with on a daily basis, check out Organifi.com. That's Organifi.com, and use the promo code SUCCESS to save 20% on your order. And now to today's show.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl W. Phillips.
What is going on?
And Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, what it do, C?
What is going on? So, I don't even really know how to intro the next two guests. I was thinking about maybe starting with some ground rules. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you got to lay the law of the land down before, okay, so let me just, I'm going to start with, I'll introduce this one, you introduce that one, okay? How does that work?
Why don't you introduce both?
Okay. To my left, I have my lovely partner in crime, the beautiful, the bold, the brave. I'm trying to set this up as good as I can. You know what I'm saying? My wife, Candace, is in the building. Hello, dear.
Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing?
Good for now.
Yeah, right.
For now.
Good for now.
And across from me, we have, go for it, E. Yeah, go. How you want to?
She looking at me. I'm like, I'd rather for you to do it because if you do it, I can't
We
get in
have
trouble
the
for
first
saying
lady.
the wrong thing.
I call her First Lady. She's also the matriarch of the squad.
Yes, sir.
Keeps everybody in line. Miss Dilsey, what's going on?
the resident gorilla.
DD, the resident.
Resident gorilla. C don't live here, so he's out of state, out of town gorilla.
And so we have obviously our wives joining us. Tamisha was not able to be here. So shout out to Tamisha. Carl gets off the hook. Carl said he's just gonna referee.
I'm gonna referee today, y'all.
We're going to represent for
Tamisha
Tam.
was trying to come though.
Yeah,
she
she
was trying to
was.
come.
She was,
I was
but she
like,
not feeling
let the
good,
world
man.
meet you at 120%.
Yeah, no, and that is the first question is Candace not about to jump on a plane and go back to Atlanta. Why do y'all live here? It's freezing. I'm like, it's 20-something degrees outside. I'm like, I don't even want to drive over there. Can we do the podcast remote while we here? So that's the first question. When are y'all moving? Is anytime soon?
Yeah, boom, boom. Once boom, boom finish up, we are out of here. We're just trying to stay as close as we can to boom, boom.
And let me tell you something, Carl kids came out to Silver Bells the other day. We have a tradition called Silver Bells in the city. And my family goes every year. Carl brought his Bayesian blood family out there.
Right.
They was out there about 32 seconds. It was like,
Ready to go.
we
They're
out.
like, we called Jordan, Jesse, everybody was like, Mommy, can we leave now? I'm talking about fireworks going off, and they're like, yo, we called. The fireworks kept them for a minute, but they was freezing.
Did you have them dressed right, Carl? Did they have on
they was
gloves,
dressed.
hats,
They was
everything?
dressed. I'm talking about, Jesse, a special. Jesse had, Tamisha bought this, like, I didn't even know what it was. Like, it's a warmer.
Like a little muff.
Yeah, but I'm talking about both
yeah,
hands going
yeah.
there, but Jessie, she want to suck that finger.
Oh,
so she
yeah.
put one hand in the warmer and she had the other one
Oh
out.
yeah, no, that ain't nothing but a popsicle. If you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You put some
oh,
sugar
shit
in that
outside.
joint.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do it. So no, fair foul that Didi brought her own fair foul to the podcast. I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying?
I'm almost thinking it's fair because we were trying to do this behind your back.
Yeah.
But shout out to Ken because Ken never made it happen. I'm like, dude, you guys had 6 mics. You fooled us like you couldn't get the mics from CJ, Carl, or Eric. Like Ken came up with every kind of excuse.
Right.
I'm like, I promise you, Ken, you're going to keep your job when this is
So
over.
y'all was
Like,
about to have your own podcast?
we
Yes.
did.
What
we
was it
did.
called?
Fair foul.
Revenge.
We were gonna say like the women's takeover or something like that, where it was like, oh, is that what really happened?
Okay.
Basically, everything you
I wanna
guys
let-
did.
When did it happen? When was all this
We were
going
in
on?
LA. Was it
Yeah.
LA? No, Houston.
Houston.
Oh, so this was a grip ago.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
This was the last.
Kids could make it happen. I love it.
Make it happen.
Hey, Ro. Hey, Ro. Hold on.
Your check will clear this week. Yeah, no, I'm also a little nervous because I see both of them have notes. I'm like, what is this about?
But you know what? Don't get too nervous because our notes are pretty old because Candace stopped listening to the podcast, Candace, and I guess this will be our gateway into why you stopped listening.
Your own wife don't listen to the podcast.
Why did you stop listening to the podcast?
Okay, so I was a faithful podcast listener.
Okay.
I got a decent commute to work, about 40, 45 minutes, go in there, come home. It was a nice entertainment, great. And then it was just too frequent, personal situations from our home start to present themselves on the podcast. Starting with a disciplining moment for my daughter Avery. We talked about that on the podcast.
We did.
Some me speaking on the podcast. Yeah. Carl said, don't do it. He said, do it. CJ said, he don't know what to do. I can't get coached. So it was a lot of very personal.
That's right.
A lot of
I never thought about that. You listening.
I was listening, and I was getting just killed. So I was like, I can't.
I just want to let everybody know on listener land, if you don't go buy some Organifi, I'm putting my life on the line for y'all. I'm putting my life on the line. I done put my marriage on the line, trying to tell y'all everything. Y'all better at least go out and buy some Organifi, some HelloFresh. Good
What
God.
else the other thing, Candace? It was something else that you heard on the podcast.
Oh, just recently I had to listen, and I wasn't listening to be listening, but I happened to be in the atmosphere in the area, and I heard them say something about, what is it called, MapQuest or Map?
Calendar.
Calendar, yeah.
Google
Google
Yeah,
Alert.
so I had to text her and let her know.
Exactly.
Well, babe, in my defense, I have never left you with no gas. The one time there was no gas, I got a Google alert. I'm like, boo, we've been married for 8 years, together 10. One time I missed it, I got the Google invite, like I'm just prone to forget every time.
Okay, it was about 3 times, and one time it was you, Kel, and Jalen at the house.
Yeah.
And then I sent the text when I got to work. I was like, oh, I don't have any gas in my car. And I'm like, so I was assuming that someone would drive, come get my car, fill it up while I'm at work.
right.
So when I go home, I can
That
just
you'd be
go
good.
my way. 'Cause it's freezing
Whoa,
right
that
now.
was the expectation? Hold on, this ain't Lansing. You talking about that's about an hour and a half commute.
Right. She
There
said
and
it,
back to
45
do it.
minutes.
No, 45 minutes
minutes.
in traffic.
Yeah.
It's about 15 minutes with no traffic.
Okay.
So
Yes.
Jalen or Kel could
Yeah, I
have.
was thinking Jalen or Kel. I wasn't thinking about us. I was thinking somebody else.
Yeah, but
How did I get looped in on the group text?
Yeah, right. But he is the organizer of that little crew. He runs that little crew, so
Right.
he is responsible.
So instead of
Yeah.
me being upset that next morning,
Yeah.
I was like, let me just put a calendar alert so I don't forget. We don't forget, and we can just be happy once I have gas in my car, and I'm good.
And
So
it
it was a
totally makes
preventive
sense.
measure.
It makes sense.
Yes, it was
I like how she
preventative.
said we could all be
We
happy.
could be happy because I have gas.
Yeah, well, hey. At least
And
somebody's
he's always
happy.
saying, oh, you can take my car. Nobody want to take that big old.
So you guys are you
So
know you
see,
were auditing.
So
and
I'm saying
you
normally
didn't
here
like-
you would say what the podcast is about.
I don't
That's where I come in. That's where I come in.
Okay.
Shout out to CJ for inviting us to the podcast.
Why not?
Since it's Thanksgiving, you
All
know,
for
everybody's
entertainment.
talking about what they're thankful for.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little switch.
Okay.
'Cause everybody's doing
What
the
we
same
not
thing.
thankful for?
There you
We're
go.
doing the Black Friday version. You got Friday.
What was this about? Right.
Right. So we're going to do a little version
Okay.
of what we're not thankful for. Thanks for inviting us, CJ.
I'm just saying, is this a segment and then we come back to what we are thankful for? Could that be the nugget of the
This
day?
is just having Black Friday starting at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, we're getting Black Friday here right now.
There you
Well,
go.
let me sit down and shut up.
What am I not? So are you asking me what am I not?
No. We're going to tell what we're
Okay.
not thankful
All
for.
right. Let me know.
I didn't come prepared for
Okay.
this, DD.
Just let us know those so we can do our sponsors. We still need to put them in there at some point. So let us know when you're ready for the
Yeah,
sponsors.
yeah, and I got some questions as well from the listening audience. So, but we'll go.
Yeah,
We'll
go
ahead.
for it. Do what you
Yeah,
do,
go for
Didi,
it.
and then we'll come back.
Or
So Okay, so you know what? I'm thankful for my husband. You know, you're doing a whole vegan diet, you know, trying to show me how to live and eat right. And I'm so grateful. What I'm not grateful for is, though, while you're helping me with the diet, you're not helping me with the cleanup. It's like, dude, are you really concerned about my health, or are you concerned to let the people know that you're concerned about my health? I'm talking about last
this
night.
got hot and heavy quick.
This one is hot out the kitchen. Last night, we're in Myers. I promise you, dude on his phone doing the Spanish app, we didn't get a buggy because we only came in for a loaf of bread.
That's it.
CJ, I had 12 things in my hand. Dude is on his phone. I said, Eric, do you see what's happening right now?
100-day challenge. I hadn't finished it. And Nikki had hit me up like, hey, where your Spanish? I'm like, shoot, Nikki. It was a long.
Hey, you should have learned. I told y'all it messed me up. The 100-day
But
challenge.
here's the deal, though. See, do I not get credit for?
Hold on, let her finish.
Did I not give him credit for the vegan? Oh, you killing the vegan, boy. You killing 5-6 miles a day. 5-6 miles a day. You killing it. You killing it. But I'm like, dude, and then I know you can do it because this morning we were having a podcast here. I said, oh no, we're not having a podcast here until the house is clean. Psh. I woke up, I'm like, what's that I smell?
I did smell the aroma when I came in. I was like, wow.
He had candles burning, vacuum.
See what's going. See what's going.
I'm like, wow. So are you really concerned about my health? Oh, that's a question.
The cleaning is a big part.
It is. But
Yeah,
here's the deal, though.
of
See,
MS. That's a big part of MS.
I have nothing to say about the cleaning. I have nothing to say about that. But the app, see, the reason why I couldn't get the app done is because I usually would do it while the Lions game is on. So I was on my way downstairs to work out, do the app, and my wife said, can you not go watch the game? Can we cuddle during the game? So I was like, no questions asked. So I ended up cuddling with her from 1 to about 5. See?
Oh, that's
so that
a long cuddle.
That was.
That's a long cuddle.
That was my time where I would go work out and do my app.
I gotta say something. Didi face is not agreeing with the no.
How many hours are in a day? I'm not sure. How many hours in a day? Anybody know?
But that's usually the time that I do it, see? So I was kind of like, all right, we're going to do breakfast, we'll do whatever together. And then my 1 to 4, so I was on my way downstairs, and she's like, now come on, it's a lot of women praying to get a husband. And a wife. Men want a wife, you got one. You downstairs watching. Who watches TV when they could be cuddling with their wife?
So maybe you shouldn't have watched the game.
Oh, you cuddled and watched.
I did.
You should have cuddled.
You didn't know that was code for no game?
I'm serious. I didn't fully watch it though. See, I caught it little pieces here and there, but I couldn't cuddle and do my app. So that evening, I was like, yo, let's go to Myers. She didn't want to go. I was like, we need to get you some fresh air, guys. She's like, bet. So she is right. I did get consumed, but Nikki had hit me up like, E, where your stuff? And I'm like, Nikki, it's coming right now. And so I did do it while we were in there, and I did forget, but she's right, but she's wrong. I need that 5 hours that I was calling. If I could just get 3 of those back,
just
or
3.
2 of those back, I promise I could have been finished.
That's a long cuddle, though.
It is.
My body started getting sore. I had a bed
QT, Candace, QT.
No. Actually, I have to jump in here because that wasn't a quiet time together.
That's right.
So it had to be longer because it wasn't like a burst of full attention for an hour.
So what
now we had to drag it out for 5 hours.
Just so we clear,
she said it's the quality time.
So
I guess because the Lions was on,
quality.
that took away
So
quality.
that's why
what
it
I'm
took
saying,
so
would it have been an
long.
hour of quality time, focused quality time that would have worked?
Potentially.
Okay.
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
that could
just
work.
okay. So let's get that part out the way because I see where you get. No.
Why did I get that?
So this is back at the
No.
marriage retreat.
So this is, yes, for those of you listening, so this is my wife's probably biggest complaint about me is I feel like if we're all, like, to me, this is spending time together.
Absolutely.
I'm on the couch next to my wife. I even got my hand.
I was gonna say y'all
On her
gotta
leg.
see.
I got my hand
on her leg.
leg.
Just when you start talking, no. After you started talking.
Right.
That was the podcast first started.
No, as a matter of fact, with the
Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you next week.
Oh, Tanisha, I'm so thankful you're not
When the
here.
podcast podcast first started, he asked me to scoot over. He said, could you move over because I need some arm room.
Guilty. Okay, so no. So this is one of our main sources, contingent. I think in your relationship
across
too.
the board.
E and I are very community oriented. Like we want to have a good time with a lot of people, friends, family, everybody hanging out. So there, for instance, the other night when we went to dinner, everybody's at dinner. It was 6 of us. Shout out to my man Jay and his wife Camille. I'm thinking that's quality time. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that right there is we all hanging out, we laughing, we eating together, fellowship. That's considered 0 to my wife, like literally 0. And so I'm trying to figure
Well, you
out.
gave me about 20%, didn't you?
Well, no, who's into group dating? Like, we're not 15, 16. Like, who's into group dating? Come on now, we're grown.
Exactly. It's just babe, you're saying, oh, we were all together, so I feel like I'm spending time with you. But you didn't say anything to me that whole time. So how was it
But I said it next.
You're
No, but I was
talking.
next to you.
Well, I said
I was saying.
I love the environment. I love that, but that doesn't fill my husband, me and my husband tank. That fills my community.
And I understand that, but does it get a drop in there?
Nah.
Like, I might as well be in Australia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's crazy. It's like, okay, I feel you, but I was still in your physical presence the entire day.
Well, babe, but let's also be honest. You take it a step further, and you told me one day that you feel like you're spending time with me when you're spending time with Avery, and I don't have to be anywhere around.
Wow.
The bloodline.
Yeah.
So thick.
What I was saying,
Unbelievable.
she took that one a little too far.
Yeah.
I was saying, I feel closer to you. I don't remember what I was saying, to be honest.
I don't
but
think you could win any which way.
No,
Just
no,
let it go.
But I think that is something. But it's something that I am trying to work on.
Oh, absolutely. I coddled. I did.
I know it's not perfect, dear.
Yeah, but you put forth, and I put forth effort yesterday to only see it smashed on the podcast.
Dilsey taking notes.
Oh yeah, the notes are being taken. Yeah, the notes are being taken.
So, okay, are y'all done with the venting? Because I want to go into some more like conversations.
No,
No,
He
but
said
we
she
didn't
gotta-
figure out how you're going to help yourself. All I'm saying is that you got to charge your phone up. You're not expecting your phone to be working. You just milking from it. You got to charge it up.
Milking
and
from
then,
it.
Yeah.
and
Milking
then you
from
got
the
to charge it
phone.
up. But then you
Yeah.
still want the GMG, though.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll see you next week.
She's been listening to the podcast. She's been listening to the podcast.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. So we need some BU members
Water.
and some game changers to come change his game.
Game changers. Support a break. This episode has been brought to you by.
I need some Organifi right now.
Yeah, because we being organic. So this is sponsored by Organic.
No, this is sponsored by Haterade. This one's Haterade.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done, baby. I love
Okay.
you. I love you.
Hey man, I love it.
Dilsey, do you have anything you want to interject before?
No, I just gotta. I don't know if it's time to talk about Carl right now.
No,
'cause I
let's
don't
save
wanna
that.
feel
Let's
like-
save that for a little way.
Yeah, Tamisha not here, so we did say we
Yeah.
were
I
going to
miss
do
my
it
wife
for her.
all morning right
Didi
now.
ain't
I
got
can't
no
handle
Bible.
it
She
right
don't
now.
care nothing about that.
So Carl,
I used to see
I'm
Carl.
thankful-
Carl about 2 inches tall right now.
And getting smaller.
Carl, I'm thankful that you keep the podcast on track. You know, that's your job. You make sure they stick to the point. However, you're starting to get a little bold, Carl. You're starting to get a little
What'd he do?
bold.
What'd he
You
do?
add your
What'd I
little
do this
2 cents
time?
in. Please don't come for my baby, Jalen. Please don't. Please don't. Don't mess with him. That's like a real soft spot. Yeah, Carl was joking on Jalen saying he had the Louis Vuitton luggage set.
Oh, yes.
I said, come on now, Carl. My baby got a book bag and a duffel bag. That is not a luggage set. A luggage set consists of like 7 pieces.
Which she would like for him to have. I got to step in and do the book bag.
That's coming
that's
for
for
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah.
I like you exaggerate now, Carl. I like you, but
right.
yeah.
I got a serious question for
Okay.
since my wife and your wife are here. What is y'all problem with the bromance between me and E? Y'all been hating on our bromance for probably
12 years now.
12 years straight. We get comments about us being married. about us saying I love you. What did you say the other day?
I think my problem is y'all spend quality time together, and I'm a little jealous.
Can't get away from
I'm a
it.
little jealous. I'm like,
can't
wow.
get away.
I promise you, like, you guys were in the car to Chicago. Oh, y'all were vibing. It was just like you and Bay had y'all thing, and it's like, I love you. I love you. No, I love you more. You couldn't. Come on, E. I love you the most. And so that's killing me. That's killing me.
I don't never remember going that far with it.
I don't remember.
And y'all wasn't talking, so that's why we started talking.
But Eric, you never talk like that in the car. You always tell me you're thinking, you're doing this.
Because I'm driving. C drives. It's the only time I don't drive. When C's in the car, he relieves me of that responsibility. So I have.
So I'm about to start driving.
Okay, let's go. And then we never sleep on each other. We get in the whip. You and Candace knocked out.
And that's
in the
love. That's love.
Yeah.
That's love. We
Okay.
never sleep on each other. That's love.
I'm saying you fall asleep while he's driving. You know what I'm saying? C driving, I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? When I drive, you get in the car. You knocked out right in the beginning. So
I'm talking about instantly.
It's hard to have that intimacy when you sleep. It is. And tell the truth, you slept the entire trip.
Okay, so here's the thing. When Rondell drives us, guess who's? But when C's in the car, when C's in the car.
This podcast has been brought to you by. Hey, y'all, I love y'all. It's been real. That's the nugget of the day.
So we used to always get clowned because me and E would be on the phone. And I don't think it's near as bad
All
probably
business,
since
it was all business.
All
though.
business.
Okay.
all business,
All
though.
business.
Yeah.
We're taking it a little bit far.
It was all business.
We had worship
when
first,
we first
and then-
moved away from Michigan, you and E would be on a non-stop conference call. Just the
Oh,
line
yeah.
open.
business.
No, that's true.
Just like, I gotta run to the
That's true.
bathroom. I gotta do
question.
whatever.
There was times
that
when
was in the beginning
They
of the
didn't
business.
hang up.
No,
they
I
didn't
look at
hang
my
up.
phone and be like 6 hours straight, but like, cause we'll just put it down. It's kind of like having an open conference line.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like,
But
I
that's
might
not
be
the
going
thing.
30 and come back like, yo, E.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, here goes the thing. What I don't like is y'all used to think we was just playing Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Right.
And now that we done built a successful company, nobody goes back and goes,
says, "Thank you."
maybe that was necessary.
Well, no,
Nobody
because
ever goes
then,
back.
No, because you guys, like, you give them an inch, they take a mile.
That's right.
If we start to say, oh, you guys, I'm glad you guys did all this stuff, then it's nonstop. You guys, hold on, this is when it hit when it really took the height, was when we were in Australia. And E literally said, I wish we could live together. Not with the wives, though.
I meant to watch though. It was insinuated. It was insinuated.
It's not. It's like, no, I think you said the names. You said, Carl, we see, if we could live
But
together,
y'all know
what
I
could
meant by that.
happen?
No, I was talking
That's
about
not-
business.
No, the end of the sentence
Yeah.
was we could create such a great life for a while.
That's what he said.
But that
And our
part-
children.
We didn't
Bad
hear that
part
part.
is he
Hear
said
that
it
part.
during the keynote, and I was like, no.
Yes.
I saw Diddy and Ken back there taking notes. I was like, oh, we
Yeah, they
hit.
took it and ran with it, bro. My intent, the motive behind what I was saying, they didn't know the motives, bro.
No, I get the motive, but that's how your brains are wired. You guys said more times together with you three equals success. Not more time together with my wife equals more success. That's right. So that's
Because
the
y'all went to
part.
cuddle for 4 hours.
That's the part.
And I can't blow up like that.
I can't blow up with the 4-hour cuddle session after we just woke up a couple hours ago.
So, okay.
So anyway, all right, can we get to some more regular stuff now?
Absolutely.
Are we done? Okay, y'all feeling good. Okay, D, are you sure your conscience clear? Before, because I want to ask some questions and stuff, but I don't want y'all to feel like I was.
I'm sorry, I got
Okay, one more.
little
Okay,
thing.
well,
Shouldn't
let's
take
go.
long.
Okay.
Okay,
Shouldn't take long.
Shouldn't take long. Shouldn't take long.
Who's it directed at this time?
This is pretty. I don't know if it's all three of you guys or Eric. So Eric, you're always talking about Jalen. Jalen did this wrong. Jalen did that wrong. At my house, I promise you, we try not to be divided, but Jalen is like my heart. I
Yeah.
love my daughter, but Jalen is like my everything. Okay, so Eric, you keep coming for him. Yet and still, you're a little boom boom. Notice Jalen doesn't even have a nickname. Boom boom. But you're a little boom boom. Boom Boom can't do nothing wrong. The sun rise and shine off of Boom Boom. I'm like, Boom Boom they got the truck towed twice in 2 weeks, a total of $1,000. I ain't heard her name on the podcast yet. I ain't heard her name on the podcast yet. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute
Let me ask you, is that how it go? Because I'm really feeling like, no, that's a serious question, because we got a son and a daughter. Carl got a son and a daughter. Ken, you got a son coming, so I guess you got a daughter coming later.
I mean, just the way it goes.
I'm saying, I think it's the mother-son thing and then the daddy-daughter, because I'm telling you, Avery can't do no wrong. And you know me, I was in Trey butt early. But Avery, I'm talking about, and she hell on wheels. And I ain't never popped her nothing. I'm talking about all
I just wanted with Jada, you know what I'm saying? It's not that she doesn't do anything wrong. I want to be cautious of how I handle it. Because what we want from Jada is, I want to discipline her, but we have an outcome and we just want her to be successful. So I want to make sure that the discipline is going to be productive and not counterproductive. So she responds different. Jalen, you got to get on Jay. Jada, if you look at her and say you wrong, she hurt and she will change. Jalen need a little bit more. That's all it is. I love him the same.
But a little clap, a little extra clap.
A little clap. That's all.
But your level
she can self-regulated, Candy.
I can get the discipline strategy, switching it up.
Yeah.
But your level of frustration
you know
is higher with Jalen than Jada.
You know this.
And I'm saying, here's Candace, I try to explain it, but let me just say it clearly. When Jada knows she's wrong, she immediately self-corrects, right? She's like, I messed up.
So she got the car towed again the next week.
That was a different toe.
Let me explain it immediately.
And the second one wasn't her fault. The first one was her fault. The second one was McDonald's fault. All right? McDonald's, that was their fault.
Exactly.
Who gets told from McDonald's?
When they're not buying and they're going to a concert.
But she went to buy first.
She got a large vanilla shake.
She got
and
it,
then went
and
to
she came.
the concert and came back.
And she had her receipt.
And she didn't go to the concert. Didi's not telling the truth. She went to check on her friends in line and came back 6-7 minutes later, and it was gone. So apparently McDonald's was on some sneak tip stuff. They knew it was a concert, so they were setting people up for the okie doke. She can't be, that's not her. That ain't on her. The first one was on her. She took the L, we learned from it. Second one, McDonald's got her. So, and she still self-corrected. She was hurt about it. Boog is going to continue to press the envelope.
Boog like, it's another concert tonight.
Boog is not going to get the car towed. He's so straight. He's so smart.
But we're not talking about car towed now. We're talking about lessons learned. And Boog ain't going to learn the lesson. So I got to take it up a notch and be firm with my man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I just have a challenge for the listeners. If you can think of any Boom Boom story where he's dogged out Boom Boom, I'll give you $100.
Dogged out Jalen.
First person. Go ahead and type me a story. I'm going to go ahead and give you $100.
I don't dog out Jalen. We simply use our family and the lessons of our family so that we're organic.
Yeah, seriously.
And
that is, I mean.
That's what we do.
You understand, and for those of you listening, y'all know, and I'm serious. Y'all better, we are exposing ourselves big time here. So y'all better be grateful.
Where's this going?
This is Thankful Thanksgiving.
I'm saying, so the people want to hear from E, and then me and Carl are here, but like, that's the best way to, teach life lessons is to talk about what you go through. So I appreciate your ability to allow us to use our family in certain contexts. And so, is that it?
That's it.
Hey, I didn't know if y'all heard this from last week, but a young lady had wrote in and said, hey guys, I'm a woman that loves your podcast and all that you do. Thank you. Here's my question. I am blown away that there are strong, amazing, tender, focused, funny, inspiring men like you.
Thank you.
You've shaken up my world because your examples have exposed what my man lacks.
Can we send her a present?
That $100 that Didi was gonna give for the Google store, can we just send that to her?
Oh, she getting the gift back for sure. She said, I'm blown away.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
That there are such strong, amazing, tender, focused, funny, inspiring.
Did you miss anything, Sid?
Did I say tender?
Tender. Cuddle.
Cuddle tender.
The dudes that cuddle with their wives.
And then, but basically she goes on to say that her spouse is not necessarily rising to that level of S2S podcast members. What she said, should I accept him as he is and stay in my lane, or should she shake up the boat? They've been married 21 years. And Didi, I wanted to put that to you because y'all been married for 20-something years. So basically she's saying, in all seriousness, that her husband is kind of on chill mode, and she been listening to the podcast, she listening to E's videos, she ready to go to the next level in her life, and my man looking at her like, yo, why don't you chill out?
Yeah, we good where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always for a challenge. I am. I just feel like, there's no growth if you're not challenging each other. So, no, I can't just sit back and just let you just, you know what I'm saying, put out my fire or no.
So what, but
She's
what,
a female,
what do you
though,
do?
Didi. What, maybe he's not, maybe in their 21 years, she's not really, been in that lane. Because she said, stay in my lane.
And see,
So
that's the thing though. It's like, I can't like tell you what to do or teach you what to do. It's just something that's innate in me. Like I'm just a gorilla. So I'm just going to, this is how it is and this is how it's going to be. You either like it or leave it or, So I don't know like her personality type or his personality type. So it's really kind of hard to answer because I'm just beast mode.
What do you think, Beth?
Well, I think you've been together for 21 years for a reason.
Right.
Point blank, period. So, sorry.
Oh, fine.
You didn't give me any
Violation. Episodes y'all ain't
Never heard that.
We even got the smoke alarm off. We got the smoke alarm off. For those of you who hate hearing East.
my mom.
Okay. Go for it.
No. I was just saying they've been together for 21 years for a reason. So I think she needs to get back to, okay, why did you marry him in the first place? Because you weren't worried about his growth. I don't know if something happened to him. Maybe he lost his job.
She got a new mindset, is what she's saying. Like she's going to another level. She's having an awakening, and now her spouse is not willing to meet that
awakening.
Yeah, awakening. So they might have been on chill mode for 20 years, and then she started following E, whatever, and she's like got this renewed passion about life, and my man just like, I ain't with it.
Yeah, so I think you changed. So that means you have to give him some time to change too. Yeah. If you want to preserve the relationships, that's 21 years. Yeah. So you got to still hold on to, yep, I'm growing, but he still has some great qualities about him that I'm going to hold on to. And then hopefully you guys have some conversations, you start opening it up, and he'll begin to grow as well. I don't feel like it'll just be he'll never grow, but I don't want to just say, oh, he like Aditi said, we don't know enough. So I would just say, talk to him, expose him, don't rush him, and just be patient with it, because in this world, we want everything to change immediately. When we get a new idea, we want to change. When we do, we want to change. But you got to slow down and say, good things take time. It takes, time to grow and develop. So be patient with him, bring it up to him, talk to him, and know what you can say and what you can't say. You can't just say whatever, and just kind of slowly bring it up to him so he can receive it.
I agree. And D, I want to know from you, and I think the people would be interested in hearing, like, you and E, while you have the same values and you guys have a lot of love for each other and things like that, you are completely different when it comes to, E is a million miles an hour. He wants to share this gift that he has with everybody. Everybody wants his time. And so I want to kind of go through you guys' progression, because what I try to explain to people who listen to the podcast is E didn't just start being this way when he started getting some celebrity, or like when the videos started blowing up. He's been like this since, probably whenever you fixed him, right? Whenever you first got him fixed.
Wow.
But but how do you...
Great point, C.
Let me take that back a little further, because I do want to know that. What did you see in a smelly 16-year-old homeless person? Because that's what we really need to start. I'm jumping the gun. Because one of the things when E's talking, he's like, I was 16, I was stanking. I'm like, I'm nothing against E. He ain't a bad looking dude, but it wasn't like he was just Denzel in the making. You know what I'm saying? So when you saw him, I mean, it's fairly short, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was...
And I probably was still... I've got a couple more inches after I met him. I was 16, so I was really short.
Yeah. So when because we already heard that you had a man he hated on him to get him out the picture.
Oh, did you hear that podcast?
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was his podcast.
We heard he had been
Maybe
doing a lot of hating in Detroit.
For the new year.
Well, first hear it first though, because that's CJ instigating. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Seriously though, what did you see this in him then?
I did, and it was so weird because it was just like with him, I think the thing that helped me out, whenever you told him about a problem or a situation, he was doing his best to change it. So it wasn't like, okay, Eric, you're gonna have to stop being trifling and playing these video games and stuff. So it's like, okay, yep, let me change my mindset. Let me start working. So instead of playing video games at Goodlow House from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, let me go ahead and pull a shift from McDonald's. If it's a double shift, and Eric never told anyone this. I don't know why you never talk about this, but while he was homeless, I always wanted like a Coach purse. While he was homeless, do you know he bought me a Coach purse? I was so upset that he bought it, but I'm like, wow.
But she took
you
it though.
I did. and not only that, I still have it. I still have it.
It's upstairs in the
But
closet.
he doesn't have any of the gifts that I bought him. But that's another
was in
podcast.
transition.
That's another podcast. That's another podcast.
You
We're
were
not gonna focus
staying.
on that. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, he had his will.
Yeah.
His will is for now. How are you homeless and you buy somebody a Coach purse who lives in a house and I'm not talking about like a Coach wallet or a keychain. No, it was a huge like over the shoulder Coach purse and that was huge back in like 88, 89 and we had only been dating for a year.
This one of your mall stories where you grabbed it when nobody was.
No.
I just want to make sure.
Coach was a little, security was a little strong with Coach.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Security was strong.
You sure it wasn't assistant coach? You sure it was head coach?
Yeah, you know Didi gonna check.
Yeah, so that right there, I'm like, wow, his will is strong. And whenever you tell him something, it's just like, I'm going to work if it causes me my life, but I'm going to work to get this correct. So,
So you saw that in him. Okay, so that was even after y'all started dating, but just off the cuff, here's a dude who had maybe was dropping out of school. You were already out of school when you met D? Or did
I was
you already
in transition.
Okay.
I was in transition.
So I'm saying, even before that, though,
Wait,
like,
Didi
was it-
probably didn't know that he was a
didn't know.
complete dropout
Yeah,
at that
no,
point.
I didn't know he was a complete loser.
Candace said drop out. Candace said drop out.
Yeah. So no, and then of course, you know, he ended up coming to college with you, and then we heard a story on the Love Conquers not too long ago where you actually dipped and drove back to Michigan.
Yeah.
And was about done with him.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't get a lady counseling when you asked me the question, because I'm like, no nonsense. I'm zero tolerance.
I'm
like
out.
baseball had 3 strikes, you out. Didi had 0 strikes and you're out. So, you know, I can't, that's just how my mind is. It's just like, nobody's gonna be perfect, but we gotta operate in the spirit of excellence.
So what was he doing wilding out that you left in? What was the problem?
It was just that little play. Like, seriously, like, I'm like, okay, Eric, this has to stop, this has to stop, this has to stop. And I'm not telling you it has to stop because I'm being selfish. I'm telling you it has to stop because it's messing up our relationship. And you're going to keep doing it. That's zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. I have to show you that I'm not playing. Like, I can't whoop you, but I can leave you.
He got the message.
Powerful.
Yeah, no, that's big. I mean, the accountability is on a whole nother level.
And I think that's where a lot of young ladies
That's
sell
what I'm
themselves
thinking,
short today, and that's why they keep getting these bobos. Yep, because you're not living up
And
to
realize
your
you don't have
standard.
that control. Like you can
Yeah.
control this.
Yeah, you have standards, and if somebody's trying to take you off your standards or your core value, it's just like no.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, D. It seems like, you know, even from, you know, me knowing you now 10, 11, 12 years, however long it's been, I've seen your growth in kind of accepting who he is to the world. And it seems like you kind of have made this transition where maybe it used to frustrate you a little bit more when people would be so demanding of his time, but like now it's like you realize the impact that he's having globally. Like you see people cry when they meet him, you see all of these things. Like how have you grown in that process of sharing your husband with the world? Because that's not easy, you know. And Carl and I don't nearly have. I mean, we go places now. People kind of like 1 out of every 25 people might recognize us. But when we go places now, and you know, even for you guys being in public, walking through the mall, things of that nature, you're so good about like making sure, you know, like I see you taking pictures. It's not like you standing off to the side like, oh my God, will they hurry up? Like I see you taking pictures, maybe engaging with the person that they're with or whatever. Like how has the evolution of who he's become affected you, your family, and how have you grown so much where you're now willing to share your husband with the world.
And I think what happens is when you take care of your home and your home life, it's easy to, you know what I'm saying, go out. So if you're taking care of your business at home, like if somebody stopped me in the airport and says, hey, E.T., you changed my life, I promise you it doesn't bother me at all because you've taken care of me Monday through Friday. This person's getting 10 minutes of my time is not going to kill me. But I think that's the secret. You got to take care of your home and your home life. When that's not in order, you're going to be aggravated when people are pulling. It's just like, okay, we have nothing for you to take because, you know, we have nothing. But when you've taken care of your home and your home life and you poured into me, it's a no-brainer.
Are you at all surprised, I mean, that like where he is, I mean, widely regarded as, you know, maybe the number 1, number 2 speaker in the world? I mean, you've been to London, we've been to Australia, you've seen how people react to him across the globe. Are you surprised by, like, I know you're not surprised that he's doing what he's doing, because I think you always thought he'd be speaking and you knew he'd be able to provide a living, of course, and things like that. But like, are you shocked by the magnitude of it? And like, do you ever look back and go, wow, like this is a pretty big deal? Or
I think I'm still in disbelief. Like, I still pinch myself and be like, and even when the kids are with us, they're like, why do you want to take a picture with him? Like, he's just a regular old guy. So we just see him as regular old Eric. And I guess I'm still in disbelief or shock, or so it still hasn't absorbed, like, wow, okay, you really know him? Like, and just to hear people's stories, I mean, literally, like, it brings tears to my eyes. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like, you've given this huge responsibility to a nobody. Like, he's the nobody. And it's just like you've entrusted him with your people. And so I think I'm just amazed as it relates to that.
Yeah, and I wanted to say too, see, when she talked about leaving, I mean, that's what it was, see, and I couldn't get it, you know, because I think earlier in our marriage, and I'm not saying she was doing this, but a lot of times in a marriage, it's you get married, but it's still you that you're looking after and taking care of. And then she's looking after, you know, you're not one necessarily just because you went down the aisle. And I think that was the biggest thing that I was doing wrong was, and I remember her saying one day when I came home, and this is like, in no way am I trying to portray that I'm perfect, but in this situation, I was doing something spiritual. And I had got home like 2 o'clock in the morning. We did the bell tower. I'm talking to, you know, just a group of girls. I'm talking to a group of guys, and then we debating on whatever. I get to the crib at 2 o'clock in the morning, geeked. And she, not crying, but going through it. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, yo, it would have been better had we not got married. Like, you treated me better when we were friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm just being real. Like, we spent time together, we whatever, but now I'm married. Now that I've fallen into like this family category, I'm like second, third string. And that was crazy for me because it was like, yo, I didn't even realize how sick I was, but I didn't have a good concept of family because I left home when I was 16, pissed at my mom. So I didn't really have I hadn't really done family well. I hadn't really, like my father who raised me, I had really stopped, like emotionally, bruh, I had checked out on my man a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I was respectful because my father demanded that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a home where, like, for real. And I don't want to paint a bad picture of him. He may not have disciplined you the 4th, 5th time you did something wrong. But that 6th time when you did, like that 5th time, and he was like, yo, I'm not going to keep telling you. When he disciplined you, he made it count. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, I'm not playing. So my respect for him, he went to work every day. He took care of our family. My respect for him is out of this roof. But emotionally, I had checked out. So when I married Dee Dee and I'm talking to somebody who's listening, I put Dee Dee in family category. And that was the problem with our marriage. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily a 1, 2, 3 thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. It was more, she was family. You know what I'm saying? Like, she became a part of my family. You know what I'm saying? And I put her, you know what I'm saying? I put her on, I can get with you when I get with you. You gonna be home. You gonna be there. You ain't going nowhere. I married you. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, like, yo, friends or community, I revere them more. I respect them more. And it's almost like, I don't know if they're gonna be here forever. So I gotta keep making them happy. I gotta keep pouring into them or they might leave me. Whereas like, yo, Dee Dee gonna be there. And it's like, no, that's not how family works. And no discredit to my family because my mother did everything she could. I just was sick, bro. Like I took the whole, you not telling me who my father was and I went negative with it. but I literally have become family got an X. And even though I love Didi, once she came in, it was like, hey, you like for real, if I get to you at 8, you're gonna be there. If I get to you at 10, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there when I come home, you're gonna be there. You know, and God was like, not Didi, she ain't gonna be there. I always knew what, you know what I'm saying? Like what she said, like, I always knew she was pissed that I was out to 2 o'clock in the morning with the bell tower, me and Irv and Trey. And Didi was like, I'm not jealous of you and Irv's relationship. But what I've heard about is that I'm not getting that no more. And you coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning from doing some spiritual stuff. But I'm thinking, it can't be wrong. It's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm preaching and I'm praying and I'm whatever. But she was like, yo, that was another God before me. You're putting that before me. And so I did. I did put community before, you know, Didi. And so, she left, see? And it hit me when she left that, okay, yeah, she right, but she ain't playing. You know, because you could push some people.
Right.
There's some people, for real, they pushovers, no disrespect, but you could say, I don't want this and this and that, and they gonna keep doing it. Didi showed me, and it was the best thing that happened to me, Didi showed me like, yo, I'm not sharing. I'm a gorilla, I don't share. And when she left, I had to say to myself, you got choose ye this day. And I never had to choose before, see? Choose you this day. What do you want? And I'm like, if Didi was gone and I had all these other things, I wouldn't be happy. But if I had Didi and I didn't have these other things, I would be happy. So for me, it was like, I gotta go with Didi and sacrifice.
And eventually you have both. So
Right.
and so Didi, and I guess from your perspective, you know, obviously not, you know, moving on from that, you know, just as in a marriage, right? Like, cause you are private, like you way 10 times more open than you used to be, but still like your nature is to be like private, like yo, to protect, like this is my family, this is what we do, we need our space, our time, you know, although you do go gorilla and you have these standards, how do you know when to compromise and say, okay, I need to let him do this or I need to let him do that and make sure he doesn't get too far off the leash, even today, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you still have to do some stuff to reel him in now because it's like, okay, cool, he on the road, then he come back, he got Success Series, and he come back and he like, I got to go to church, we got prayer meeting, we got this, we got, you know what I mean? It's just never ending. So how do you know, show that you're willing to compromise and give him that space because you know, like I know, right? Like personal development and e-speaking and stuff, it's like air for him. It's not even like he just want to go do it to do it. Like that's one of the biggest things I think in our relationship that I had to realize. I'm like, yo, he literally, it's like a fish got to keep moving in the water or they gonna die. Like if he stopped speaking and you just didn't let him motivate the world, he would literally die. Like I don't think, and so I wonder from your perspective, how you've been able to kind of adapt to that or give him that leeway while still.
How'd you take me to the ocean?
While still
Drop
protecting, you know, the values that you hold true.
And I think what happens is when you've been with a person for so long, it's just like second nature. It's just like riding a bike. You don't even think about it. Like you just jump on. But I do know like when it's time, it's just like, okay, Eric, like you spent 50 hours this week, you know, motivating the world. Okay, our little cup is getting empty. So it's weird. I can't tell you like, oh, it comes to me in night in a dream. No, I can't tell you that. It's just weird. It's just like something that you know. I mean, it's just like driving a car.
Feel it. Mm-hmm.
You don't think about what, you know, turn on the turn signal 300 feet before the turn and make sure your hands are at 2 and 10. You just drive it. Like you just drive that car. And I think that's what our relationship.
Well, can you think back to maybe even earlier? Because I want to get to. I was asking you about now, but I'm saying maybe go back to earlier because I'm trying to help some people who may be in relationships, you know, who are saying like, yo, you got this kind of opposite thing and they don't know how to work through it. So how did you like first come to that realization that you needed to let him spread his wings a little bit, albeit you ain't about to have no inappropriate relationships or anything else, but I do need to let him go preach and do a week of prayer from time to time and all of those things. Like, how did you reconcile that?
And I think I had to learn early in our marriage because normally when we're like children, we think that if somebody doesn't look like us, talk like us, say what we say, then that's bad. You know, people need to do, and it's not. In a marriage, opposite is really good. It's like it completes the circle. So it's just like, I'm the type of person, I promise you, I don't have to crack a smile, I don't have to have a joke. We can just work all day and check things off the list. Oh, honey, I'm feeling good. But, you know, Eric is that gotta go out of town. Yep, we need to stay an extra week. We need to walk up and down the mile and, you know, just have a good time.
The magnificent mile.
So, not just the mile.
Yeah. So I think when we get to the point in our relationship where we realize that opposite is good and not bad, I think that'll solve half of our issues. And I don't know. I just go back to your core values and your beliefs. Like you can't compromise. I understand we have to work together as a team, but if this is something that I firmly believe in, like Eric, seriously, 1, 2, 3, and that's our hug thing. Don't be hugging, embracing, rocking. Yeah, you changed sister girl life, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm sure she is too. But all the hugging, rocking, no, 1, 2, 3, and it better be like the side shoulder 1, 2, 3,
right.
shoulder blade to shoulder blade. And I can show you guys at the
Not
next
the straight up.
conference.
Yeah.
I can show you guys at the next conference if you like. 1, 2, 3. That's my core value. All that over the shoulder. My campus father. My brother. No, he has 2 sisters, 2 children. He's not your dad. He's not your brother.
Right.
He's Eric. So, you know, those are core values that we have.
Yeah.
Which is why we were buck before, because I don't mean nothing with the full hug. I'm a flamingo. I think it's important when somebody is not their thing and they see you doing your thing, you know, it could be taken the wrong way.
Right.
That's not your thing. You don't even understand that it is the fact that I am the flamingo, which is why we have been able to accomplish as a squad what we accomplished. Because all you do work. Don't nobody want to be around work. Don't nobody want who just want to wake up and just work with people. No.
I do.
Yeah. But I'm saying you want to work, but people want to be a part of BU because they are loved.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in this organization versus another organization just because it's an organization. They do want to know E is going to call me. When E see me, E going to remember my name. E going to come and embrace me. Not E going to act big time and he going to speak and just be out. But what Didi is saying, this is what I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. Neither one of us is saying anything is wrong. We're not saying it's wrong. What we telling you is, for me, when I couldn't do relationships like I did them before I got married. And that's what I didn't understand.
Right.
It's like, yo, you can't be close. Yeah, you used to being like this with females and saying this and doing that, and that's cool. But when you get married, you have to choose that you only gonna do this with this person. And so a part of your personality, you're gonna have to put it in check because you married now. And so that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. It's nothing wrong with hugging. It's nothing wrong with I saw an entertainer do something the other day. He's married, and there was a young lady that, you know, he was talking to, and he did something, and it wasn't wrong. But Didi was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Don't do that. When we don't get that close, and don't do that. And Didi wasn't saying there's anything wrong with, because there's some people in their marriage, they don't have a problem with their husbands hugging and kissing on women and telling women how beautiful they are and whatever. They don't have a problem with that. It's some women that don't have a problem with
Maybe
that.
they should.
I don't know that they should or they shouldn't. See, I'm just saying some people are more comfortable in relationships with doing certain things.
Swingers.
Whatever you want to, and I don't know what it is called. See, I'm just saying, Didi is like, yo, and Didi's thing is,
They tried to catch me and Candace in our honeymoon.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh. I was like, babe. She was
that's
like, yeah,
another
definitely.
podcast.
Let's go to the.
Yeah, and she never even said that to me.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
no.
right. But I'm just saying, see, it doesn't mean it's wrong because whatever. But what happens in a marriage, you have to understand, is stuff that used to be right to you, it don't work for the marriage anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff that used to be wrong for you. It might be some stuff that Didi like, yo, you didn't do that. Like Didi, like, I know you a speaker and you do all of that, but I'm gonna need you to sometimes paint, or I'm gonna need you to whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not into that. But Didi's like, I know you're not, but as a family, I'm into that. And so I'm gonna need you to try. Now, if you can't do certain things, I get that. Like, you're not gonna be able to lay tile, but there's some things you can do if you try.
You can hold that shower head.
You can hold a shower head. You can hold a shower head up. That's foul. That's foul pair.
30-minute shower.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah. No. I get it. And I think you would probably say some things that I had to work. She used to tell me I was flirting all the time. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm like, I don't even get it. Like, I wasn't even, in my mind, remotely flirting. And so then I kind of went, when she told me that, I kind of went the other way.
Right.
And I just started shutting them down. I was like, out of my face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I felt bad because I started going the other way, but I guess you picked up on it too, but I was saying like, yo, this is my personality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You were attracted to me because of this.
Right.
Now you want me to just shut down my whole mojo.
I don't. I just want you to just do it to me now.
Exactly.
So,
I just feel like you just got to have a healthy balance, and everybody doesn't interpret things the way that you interpret it. So as a male, you might think, oh, I'm just being friendly, but we as females, we know that women can take it a little bit more, intimate. Like, oh, he liked me or he feeling me. He might not say it, but his actions. Like, I don't know how many conversations I've had with my girlfriends, and they're like, I'm like, he not feeling you. Like, and I don't want to be rude, but so you just got to be careful that you're not giving off those
It's crazy
signals.
that I'll let it go. Y'all have some kind of intuition though that we just don't have. I'm talking about Tamisha has looked at photos with me and somebody and she looked at me and was like, watch that. And I'm just like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, I'm clueless. And sure enough, a year later or 2 months later, like I'm saying, like this is early in our relationship, but she was like, no, I could see something happening right there. And I was like, whoa, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I think to bring this together is at the end of the day, you got to have some healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
Like it has to be healthy. Like you
Yeah.
agree, like, okay, this is what we do, this is what we don't do, and it has to make sense for you and your wife.
Yeah, and let me say this: I'm not defending nobody, but it's not just. It could be taken wrong by a female.
Yeah.
It could be start there, but then it can end with me feeling her. You know what I'm saying? And getting caught up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I don't want to just make it like, we just flirting and then the girl is just fall in love with us and we ain't got nothing to do with it. No. The reason why when Didi said stop, I was like, yep, for real, I do need to stop because it can turn into something. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to turn into nothing. But if I keep doing these things like Didi is saying, it can turn into something. And I don't want to be in a relationship with nobody else. I don't want to, get intimate with that's not what I want. When I said I do to death do us part, no other woman, to you I will be true. I meant that. But as Didi was saying, some of the stuff that you doing, that's not going to help. That's not right. That's not going to help us make this become a reality. So to my brothers out there who are flirtatious, don't be making your wife just feel like she's stupid and dumb.
She's jealous. Oh, you're so jealous. You're so insecure.
And she is, but you know what I'm saying? She is, but that ain't the full cause of it. You feel me?
Yeah, no.
Kid, go call LaToya. Get LaToya here, kid. You real quiet over there, kid. Just fixing the mic.
I want to shift gears a little bit and talk to both of you guys about like entrepreneurship, right? Because we have a lot of entrepreneurs who listen to our podcast, men and women, who are trying to make their dreams a reality. And obviously, what you put out in the world is what you attract, right? And so E always talks about dreaming big, working hard, going after what you want in life and all of these things, right? And so in turn, we end up getting a lot of questions on the Ask ET segment about, I want to do this, but my wife doesn't think it's a good time for me to, leave my job, or, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm trying to go to that next level, but it's not necessarily fitting, the family dynamics or whatever it is. And so I guess I'll start with D, and then babe, you can answer when she finishes. But both of you, I guess were a major part in this company even getting off the ground, because there was a time when E was working at the university, 401k, health benefits, all of these things. And, there came a time when you obviously, agreed to let us go forth with the dream. And can you talk to somebody out there who is, got a dream, both sides, right? The spouse who may be chasing that dream, and the spouse who may be like, we need security, we need safety. Because I think, D, that was a big thing for you, is like, yo, we can maintain a nice house, nice cars, we can live, how we want to live, as is. And so what do you say to somebody who is in the process of, making that transition or wants to make a transition into being an entrepreneur, may have to sacrifice and the money may not be looking right. Like, what was your thought process during that time?
Keep your day job. I don't think you want me to answer this question.
No, I do want you to answer it. No, that's what makes it great is we got perspective.
So you need to keep your day job until you can get your business off the ground and you say, oh, my husband and I don't agree on this point at all.
Oh, good.
So, his whole thing is quit your job, work for this, work for yourself, do this. No, that's not my philosophy. So my thing is you work your 9 to 5 and then from 6 to whatever, you work your dream or your whatever. But you can't have your
cuddling.
you just can't have your family out here, they hungry, you about to get evicted, talking about you going beast mode. No. You go beast mode behind that desk from 9 to 5. That's when you go beast mode. And then during your extra time, you make your dream become a reality. And then, like I said, it's a give or take. Like if you and your homegirl.
Well, we wasn't necessarily balling when E quit his job, though,
here's the thing, though. If you and your homegirl both investing in his dream and that's all y'all doing is working on his dream or her dream, no. You're going to go under. Somebody got to have a 9 to 5. Somebody got to have a 9 to 5. I just quit my job. And Eric's been speaking for 28 years. I just quit my job.
26.
Let that be a message to you. I just quit my job. So somebody needs to have that 401k. Somebody needs to have that health insurance. Somebody needs to have, y'all going beast mode. Don't do it together. This is the first time in your marriage I'm telling y'all, go ahead and make that split. Somebody go beast mode for the man. Somebody go beast mode for the family.
You for the man, me for the family.
Me for the family, yeah. And in the end, we'll meet up and we'll come together. 28 years.
And we'll cuddle.
Yeah, and we'll cuddle. 28. It took me 28 years to quit my job.
She just started believing last week.
Just started believing last week.
Put him in on 8 world tour.
with Muhammad, my man.
Be just now we might be straight on this insurance.
Look, and Candace still not a believer.
No,
Candace still holding it down.
No, and that, but there still was some sacrifice,
Absolutely.
right? Like there is, it wasn't like we quit when we were like traveling and he was getting paid tons of money to speak and we were all over the world. Like we quit when we were like still just trying to figure it out.
That's a great idea.
And so I feel what you're saying, and I'm saying, okay, then you're saying it's okay. Let's say we'll just take your exact situation. You got a young lady and a young man. The young man's ready to start his career and whatever and be an entrepreneur. He's making $50,000, $60,000 a year. He's got benefits and all of that. You're saying she can keep her job, but he's free to quit.
No. I never said that.
She didn't say
never
that.
said that. We need to come together,
Okay.
baby. Let's have a meeting. I'm making $30,000 a year. You're making $70,000.
Right.
Who's making the most money? You put the ball in his court. Who's making the most money? You are, babe. Okay. So while you go work for the man from 9 to 5, give me your clip notes. Give me everything that's gonna take to make your dream become a reality. And I'm gonna be grinding on that.
I'm
There
saying
you
I could be
go.
doing the paperwork, the 501c3.
Yeah, I could be doing a lot of stuff. Then when you
Yeah.
get home at 5, come on, we can meet together,
swap
have a
out.
little board meeting, and we can work on this thing together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what happened with you guys though? Is that what happened?
that's pretty much what happened.
You were
Yeah, I
making
was
more
making-
money?
I was
Oh,
making
okay.
more money than you, Eric. I was playing the pants up in here. I was playing the pants up in here. I had the sweet health insurance. I had the 401k. I was making the most money. So it's just like, okay, yep, you stay in place right here. Do you?
But that was your
and
decision,
then,
not Eve's. It was your decision to stay in class.
Right. We had to have a little board meeting.
I agree with Dee Dee. I knew.
Was she wearing the pants?
I was wearing the pants.
She wearing the pants now.
That's how you got so good at the laundry.
No, but I think, and I'm different. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with how people run their homes, but when it comes to my wife, I'm a little bit more. I compromise a little bit more, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I compromise. So I'm not I'm not, in my house is not, I'm the man, I wear the pants. I'm not really into that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Somebody need to take the lead.
Yeah, of course.
I just think in my home, Didi probably would do a better job in taking the lead. You know, so for me, it was like, what do you want? What do you need to happen for me to make my dreams become a reality?
And then, and that's a question too, D, is like, how much did your belief in him grinding play into that? Because if you would have thought he was just gonna be back playing video games with Goodlow, you probably be like,
oh yeah, no,
homeboy, just keep that job.
Yep, keep your 9 to 5. And I promise you, like it's just how I grew up. Like you have to have a 9 to 5. And a job is what? Just over broke. That's what job means, just over broke. And I'm like, wow, okay. We're not going, I promise you I didn't have on my cheerleading suit when he quit his job. No, no, I'm like, okay, you have X amount of time. If this doesn't work within this time frame, guess who's gonna be looking for a new job? And then that's it. Like we gotta have an end point. You can't be making this dream happen for the next 20 years. Come on now, off my back.
And I respect that. And so for me, like I wasn't tripping off of that. The pressure for me was like, okay, you know, and I think here's to whichever entrepreneur, because sometimes it's the female who's the entrepreneur. Sometimes it's the male who's the entrepreneur. Listen to me, here's the deal. I knew what Didi was saying wasn't to piss me off or against us. I knew Didi was like, yo, we got kids. Jalen got asthma. My man had been to the hospital 3-4 times, almost about to die. When you come into the hospital room, they ask, what type of insurance do you have?
Before they ask your situation.
You feel me? So I already knew, like, she ain't tripping. She just saying, with the way you doing it, I don't really hear nothing about our kids' health. Like, all I hear you talking about is your dreams and goals.
Dreams.
That's all I hear. You know what I'm saying? It's just something off the app, resolution. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear our future, how the kids gonna go to school, whatever. So I think for those of you who are entrepreneurs, you have to be cautious too, that you're not so blinded by your passion and your dream that you forget the nuts and bolts. So when Didi came at me like that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't thinking about insurance before. But best believe when she came on my head, one of the first things we talked about as a crew was, all right, when we getting insurance and what type of insurance we getting? Because we need insurance. So I wasn't having no insurance talk before. Then Didi was like, okay, I love the fact that y'all making money, that's good. But we got something to put it in, y'all got a 401k, y'all got a plan. So I'm like, okay, that's next. We gotta start talking about that too. So I didn't hear it as, I hate you, I hate your dreams, I hate your goals. I heard, yo, you need to think this thing through. And then once I thought it through, now I know what I gotta do. And I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to be getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up like, okay, she gonna need Didi talk all this talk if she want to, but I know if she has a certain amount of zeros in the bank, oh, she gonna be at ease. So let's wake up every day and let's work on getting them zeros in there. Let's work on trip. So then I know Didi. Didi's like, okay, it's one thing if we got money in the bank, but do we gotta spend that every day? So I'm like, okay, make sure you put money in the bank, but put enough where that you not, as she looking at the bank account, none of that is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just staying there. You don't see no movement. I know her. So if you know your spouse, don't make them an enemy. They're not an enemy. You look at what they want and know that they want it for the family, and then you get your butt up and see if you can do that. So now I got Didi buying things that Didi would never buy before. So for me, now I know, okay, we made it. Not because she buying stuff, but she feels to me, that's a sign that Didi feels comfortable that we gonna keep making this kind of money. Because we were making money before, but she wasn't really sure if it was gonna be for more than 6 months. So we could have money, but Didi like, I ain't spending a dime. The fact that she's spending showing me she's still very reserved, especially for where we are. But I can tell Didi like now, okay, they serious. They not playing games, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's it, see, just finding that balance. But don't hate your spouse because they're not cheerleading.
I ask a question about that. How does that happen? This the person that you've been, I'm talking about BFFs, y'all love each other, and somehow, like it happens in just about every relationship, how does that person at some point become your enemy? Like that's to anybody, like, because it happens.
They're telling you something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, well, let me actually, that's a good segue, Carl, because I wanted to read this question, and we had this question, and I apologize, and I can't say her name in this. She asked for her name to be omitted. But I apologize because this question's been sitting here for a while, and I told Carl, like, yo, we need to address this sometime. But I think since y'all are on, the podcast today, it'd be a perfect time to address it. But it's a young lady writing in, and I'll just read the question as is. She said, "Hey guys, I'm hoping you can talk about this some way on the podcast. My husband and I have been married for a few years, but we have our struggles. Our finances are a mess, and we often have conflict where he gets upset with me and tells me I never change, and we recycle the same complaints. This is usually followed by the silent treatment from him. I have been to therapy, but he refuses to go either for himself or together. I want to talk about our problems in a healthy and constructive way, but I just don't know what to do anymore. We both listen to the podcast, and he really respects what you guys have to say." Yeah, so I won't read it anymore. But yeah. So I'm gonna say this to my man, and ladies, I'll let you guys jump right in, but I will say, what the silent treatment thing, you got to knock that off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the quickest way to kill a marriage, is the silent thing. Like, not talking to each other at all. Like, for real, you are poisoning your marriage by the silent treatment, boy. Like, if your wife is willing to go to counseling, if she said, okay, and nowhere in that did I hear her say, I'm perfect, but he got some stuff he need to work on. She's going to counseling, she's trying. At the end of the day, my man, by going silent treatment and not talking, you about to ruin everything. And that's just not a man, that's a boy. Like, one of the things that I appreciate about us is that we're able to hold each other accountable in times when some things is going, we got issues. Like, when E had an issue he was working through with the anger boy. I didn't call him up like, yo, D tripping. I was like, yo, we need to get this taken care of. And E got rebaptized. Of course, Diddy joined him. We've talked about that extensively. And so we're not perfect, right? There's adjustments that need to be made all the time. But at the end of the day, under no circumstances can you go silent. And you gotta keep, for real, you gotta battle to make your relationship work. And you're not fighting by going silent treatment and shutting down. That's some boy stuff, right? There's a difference between a boy and a man. Men man up, go after the problem, attack the problem, and try their best to solve it. A little boy shut down, I don't want to talk, you going to silent treatment, not talking to somebody around the house, that's whack, bro. You got to chill on that. So I wanted to say that off cuff. But
yeah, let me say before the girls go, for the dude that shuts down, and for C, this is something that he's practiced for a long time. And like he said, he held me accountable years ago about conflict. And I don't know that I shut down in some situations because I was necessarily afraid to talk. I was afraid that I couldn't do it without blowing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was afraid that I would go into a mess and tear it down. And because I had seen with me and my mom, when we would try to work out our differences, we would get on the phone and Didi would tell you, like, it was like I'm talking about a fighting match. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was going at it, in a way that I probably didn't even go at it with Didi or my kids. Like, you think I'm intense with Jalen. Me and my mom's, bro, we was there. And so I just didn't know how to go there without going there, But what C said is important. He checked me and was like, yo, whatever you do, you can't go silent either, because that's the same thing. Actually it's worse because you can't get through it. So I would say to that person, Didi and I have rules. It's like, there are times where it's like, we just can't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? And we've been married 27 years, and we'll just be honest, I think because of our issues, whatever they are, singularly, with our fathers, it didn't allow us to be mature enough to have every conversation. You know what I'm saying? Didi and I would go to bed pissed. But it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to bed pissed, but we're going to go to bed together. I ain't never slept on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Didi ain't never went home to her mom.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And we gonna hold. Like, Didi, you can't tell me I can't, coddle because you know what I'm saying? You can't say I can't do it because you pissed. So what we gonna do is everything else, we might not be able to talk, but we're not gonna, like you said, the silent treatment.
You're not gonna disengage.
Yeah, we're not gonna disengage. Thank you, Candace, that's the word. We're still gonna engage with each other. We're just not mature enough to talk, and then we said, but we're not going to not talk forever either. we got to learn how to do it. And so Didi was just like, now there's some rules, right? And I don't know if we've ever explained this to you guys on the podcast before, but one of our rules now, if it's a heated discussion, we get into bed and talk about it, right?
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk is what we call it, pillow talk. And we had to just do pillow talk. Because Didi like, because when we talk, you know me, I'm talking with my hands. And Didi like, oh, don't talk to me like that. I'm like, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah,
Get under the car.
You know what I'm saying?
paid for this gig. You're not getting paid.
You know what I'm saying?
Calm down.
And so I'm like, I'm just for real. I'm using my hands. Don't talk to me like that. I'm like, talk to you like what? Like that. So when we get into bed, for real, we put the cover over. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking at each other like that. So we not getting pissed. Didi looking her way, I'm looking my way. We on the pillow, we relax. And Didi was like, yo, the other day, when we was in public, you remember you said that? Like, you always say you don't like me teasing you, but what you said was a tease. So I don't mind teasing, but you don't like it. So I'm saying, so why are you doing it if you don't like it? And it's like, okay, cool.
Were you teasing when you said she was thicker than a bowl of grits and shit?
Okay, CJ, now I was trying to hold back, CJ.
All right, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Let you and CJ go there.
So let me add her. You done eating?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but when we get into bed and we talk, there's no body language because my cover is over me. We're not looking at each other, and we can deal, Candace, with the issue and not our issues of 30 years being together. That when you see certain things, you're like, oh, he ain't changed. No, now it's just the issue. And I got to say this to you, Didi, because we never talked about it. We started with pillow talk. Now we're having discussions without the pillow now. There's some things that we've been able to just talk about. I ain't say nothing because I ain't want to mess up the pillow talk thing, but it's worked is what I want to say. So some people you aren't coward. You are afraid if you talk, you're going to take a fire and tear the house down. And I'm saying just because you can't talk, don't let yourself stay there and use that as an excuse. As CJ is saying, you got to get through it.
Yeah, I want to hear what Carl got to say because Carl's that shut down guy.
No, that's why I got to say something.
I'm like, I ain't got nothing to tell her because I'm just like my man. Get out my face, get somewhere and sit down. So when Carl said he had something to say, I'm like, oh, go for it.
I am, and again, we're back to the animal assessment. Y'all gonna keep hearing about it, but I'm a chameleon, and that is I adapt and adjust to my surroundings. And I'm not trying to stir stuff up necessarily. So the easiest thing to do, I'm gonna say it like that, the easiest thing to do is to shut down, but then common sense showed me, like, if I shut down, what response am I expecting to get? So I shut down, and then the next thing I realized that Tamisha's now responding to my shutdown by shutting down. Because I'm not responding to her, so she's like, well, this is the way we're going to communicate, then I ain't saying nothing either. And I'm like, whoa, and then what hit me, and I'm being real, this is like a month ago. She literally got to the point where she was so hurt. Now, I'm just shut down. I ain't even paying attention. I'm like, she's so hurt. She sat and wrote me like a 3-page letter.
Wow.
Bro, when I sat down and read that letter, I can't explain it to you. Because, again, I'm thinking, we just shut down. It ain't even no beef. Like, I'm cool. Like, I ain't fussing with you. I'm just not saying nothing. Like, we ain't fussing or nothing.
But we
just not saying that. You know what I'm saying?
We not talking, but we cool.
I'm just being real. I'm being 100% transparent. This is a month ago. And she wrote a letter, and I realized what hurt I had caused her by doing that. And I was like, dude, you got to grow up, bro, by shutting down. Because she's like, yo, what you're telling me is you don't care about me right now. Because we still, again, I'm playing with the kids. Everything in the house is normal other than we just not really talking. You know what I'm saying? So everything still appears normal. But she's like, yo, I'm not a priority in your life. Like the fact that you can just put me on a side for a couple of days or hours.
And you can be just fine with it.
Right.
You were
for
just
a couple of days or hours and just live.
Were you just fine? No. Was that a defense mechanism for you?
It was defense. It was defense. As a chameleon, I'm just kind of like, okay, let me just chill out and hope that, I know it ain't going to blow away, but let me chill out.
So did you do it because you were hurt? Like what? Like I do it because I'm angry.
It starts with some kind of anger. It starts with something upset me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even going to deal with this. And there's a part of it, because I don't want to stir it up. There's a part of it, I don't want to go upset you and all that. There's a part of that, but I'm realizing Tamisha said to me, dude, I respect you more when you say something.
Right, no
like
questions
you
asked.
shine away. But again, we've now gotten to the point where, okay, we got to start to talk about these things more. So it's something that I'm working on now, like as we speak. Like, dude, you can't shut down something that I've done for a long time. But now I'm realizing, dude, you're causing more damage that way. So you got to mature, like you said, you got to grow up. It's a boy thing. It's real easy to do it. Like whatever, hopefully it blow away. The storm's gonna go away, and then you're gonna come back out. It ain't blowing away. You gotta deal with it. So now, she just said, so we gonna talk 6:30 every morning. Good. Like she set a time. We gonna talk. We're gonna have worship 6:30 in the morning. And that's why I hadn't been back to Sexton. I was like, Sexton, I'm sorry, I love y'all, but my wife said 6:30 in the morning, and she not feeling like a priority. So everything else gonna cut. And 6:30 in the morning, we're gonna spend some time together. And the conversations that we're having now is like, oh, I didn't even understand that. And that's the part that kills me. I didn't even understand what you meant when you said that. No, that's not what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking that. It's a misunderstanding.
Right.
I'm just like, wow. So I read this thing this morning. I was like, wow. It said, have you ever wondered why the whole mechanism for balance is in your ear? It ain't in your shoulder or something else, how you balance. Your whole body alignment is in your ear. It's like you need to be listening and communicating more. That's what balance is. And I was just like, wow.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
in your
balance
ear.
is.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why my balance off. That's why my balance is
Too
off.
much.
You know what I'm saying? That's why my balance is crazy
It's in
off.
your ear. I read that. I was like, wow. So again, anyway, but I just had to say something because that's me and that's something that I'm learning to grow out of now.
What you had something you were gonna say?
I was just gonna say, you have to for us, we figured out early in our relationship how we're gonna argue. Like this is gonna be the rules. Like you said, you gotta have rules. So whatever the rules is that work, it works differently. So for us, we're both like, when we met, I felt like I'm more of a flamingo now, but I was a gorilla too. So you had two gorillas going back and forth. That wasn't gonna work. And so I said, I'm gonna fall back. But then you're.
I wish this was video, not audio.
CJ didn't get the memo.
That body language.
Let's continue to have the conversation.
I saw double gorillas.
Let me see your notes.
I want to write something down.
Go ahead, Flamingo Candace.
Okay, this is how I thought I was. Maybe it was just me.
Now, Candace,
I decide I'm gonna fall back.
no, I will say this
No,
though.
let me finish.
I never shared this with Candace, but when her thing came back flamingo, I did want to talk to her about it because I was like, Candace a flamingo too? I thought she was more. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I had to break her from that gorilla. There's only one
It wasn't
gorilla
gonna
per
work.
household.
No, literally, I thought we had a conversation, but I guess we didn't have a conversation about it. But this is what was happening. He didn't know I did.
In your mind?
He's joking. Guys, stop
You said it out loud in your
Can you
head,
stop
Candace.
playing
Balance,
with
Candace,
me?
in your ear.
Candace, just being recorded.
No. So I agree that I will fall back, and then he would have to make me feel better though. So I would, because you feel like you lost, like you battling, and I'm like,
you
I'm
from
lost.
Detroit?
I'm
Yeah,
mad,
you want to fight.
whatever. So then he had to play around, joke, whatever it took to get me out of it, so that we can go back to being cool, and it wasn't a thing anymore. So our thing was we just would keep peeling back
I think
that.
the thing too that we figured out early on is you can't have an argument while you're mad. Like the natural human psyche is you take some time to cool off. You're gonna feel better in a little while. So what happens when you try to solve all your issues in the midst of an argument, it turns into can you win an argument and not what's
not
right
the
or wrong.
issue. Yeah.
So if we're in the middle of a heated argument, I could be like the sky is blue and you could be like, no, it ain't, it's green. Because you're just trying to win an argument. It turns into like you said, a boxing match. So what happens is when you take time to go away and you're no longer angry, right now you can come back to the table and have those conversations a little easier. And one of the things that we always talk about, and I couldn't stand doing it, but she held me accountable, is having conversations when everything's healthy. So that's one of the things I told my homies is like, yo, E said it. You don't necessarily want to have that conversation when all is right in the household because you like, man, it could stir up some drama. But at the end of the day, if my wife comes to me on a Tuesday afternoon when everything's fine, birds are singing, the house is clean, everybody's happy, and she comes to me and says, babe, I really don't feel like you've been spending enough time with me. It's getting on my nerves that you're not here as much as you should be or this or that. I have to take that personal and I have to make some adjustments because it wasn't like she said in the middle of the argument on the 8th thing of the argument, she was like, and you don't spend no time with me, right? Because then I'm looking like you just said that to hurt my feelings or to try to get mad at me. When you come to me on the Tuesday afternoon and say, hey, here's some things I got to legit deal with those items because there was nothing malicious that brought that on. And I think too many people try to have those arguments in the midst of conflict. And I told my boy who, him and his wife were going through it a while ago and they, they're through it now. And I taught them this and I'm just like, yo, as long as you keep trying to fix all your problems in the midst of an argument, because every issue he had from the last year, he would sit on it. And as soon as they had an argument, here come all of this stuff. And you don't clean, and you don't cook, and we don't take no trips, and you gone all the time, and you don't call me when you gone, and you never FaceTime me, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you can't fix all of that when you're angry because it don't seem authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say something in the midst of being pissed, you're not getting ready to take that at face value. You know what I'm saying?
Defensive.
Exactly.
So.
You're just defensive. And so I would say to them as well, like, yo, you really do got to work on how you handle issues and conflict and decide. I got a question for y'all though. What do you think? Is divorce an option? Because people always say divorce ain't no option. I'm just saying.
If it's an abuse, or if you're just...
Well, I'm just saying in a situation like this, they ain't vibing, they ain't been vibing.
No. You said for better or for worse. Ride with the worst.
I'm just saying this is what, I'm just saying this. I tell people when I do counseling, somebody called me, and I said, this is what for worse looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me help you. You said for better or for worse. When Didi got sick.
Really just meant better.
Yeah, right. That's what you meant. When Didi got sick, I'm like, yo, D, you got to understand this is a blessing. And she was like, how is it a blessing? I said, because now I get to show you I meant what I said in the vows. I can't show you I meant sickness when you ain't never sick. So you sick now. So now I have a chance to really take my marriage to the next level because it was easy for me to do it when you were well. You know what I'm saying? Now you sick. I said in sickness and in health. Last few years been in health. So let me show you what sickness look like. And I'm just being real. I feel like there were things that are naturally me that I may have done or may not have done. Like I always been into like, Didi, I've been with Didi for a minute, so I've always been on that open the door or, whatever. I've been on that.
No, let's go to that. You open the door. He's gotten better since I called him out because he'll open the door when the crowd's watching.
That's not the truth, see.
But he's gotten better since I called him out.
That's not the truth. First of all.
Paparazzi outside.
No. First of all, see, it's got to be in you because a dude who seeing the crowd and ain't open the door, he ain't on that if they looking or not. So he could care less. He just ain't opening the door. So did he want to make it like that's why I was doing it? But I'm just being real. I always was the kid when I was young, when I walk into a building, take my hat off, just different little things that I would do. But I realized when Didi got sick, it's like you can't do it when how do I say it? What Didi is right about is that if me and Didi was beefing, I may not open the door for her. Because my mind is somewhere else. When she got sick, my appreciation for her went to another level. Like, yo, she don't have to be here. So I think I became more sensitive and was just doing more of the stuff that I already believed in. So I am saying that the sickness, boy, has been a blessing, especially for Didi to not have gone under, see if that makes sense. Like, she didn't get progressively worse. So now that she's well, it's just like stuff that I would take for granted before. Like, Didi could be in a wheelchair. There are people with MS. I saw one of our students from Michigan State University was just diagnosed with it, and she was in like a robot, if you will, trying to learn how to walk again. So it hit her, and I didn't even know she had it. It seemed like as soon as it hit her, it hit her. So when Didi gets up in the morning and get on her own 2 feet and walk, I'm just like, praise God. And so I'm more sensitive than to a dude who is used to his wife getting up and just moving. He take that for granted because she's always been well. So for me, I will say, for real, divorcee is only an option when you feel like you weak, you powerless. And I never feel like that. It's what you said about personal development. I always feel like if C come to me and say, E, man, we got to change the budget. Just showing y'all how I think. See, like, people can't be spending, people can't be burnt, people can't. I don't see it like that, Candace. I see it as, well, we ain't making enough money. Because Kim Kardashian made $10 million the other day just off of her hair, her product. I'm talking about one day she made 10. So she's making 10, 8 million. I don't think she got no, can you rent a car, can you eat problems. So for me, I don't see life like that. I see it as, yo, E, you talented enough to bring in another $2 million, $3 million in this company. So just in my marriage, I see it the same way. Whatever the challenge is, I just feel like I got what it takes as God's greatest creation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no deer. I'm not a snail. I ain't no butterfly. I'm a human. I have the power to change whatever I want to change. I just feel like that and do whatever. So to me, marriage, you mean to tell me somebody that I love, I can't fix it with somebody that come on, you got some issues. This person love you more than anybody in the world. Like y'all on the same team, y'all bank account is one, y'all kid, like y'all one. and you can't make it work with that person, I would feel like, Kansas, if I can't make it with that person, I probably can't be successful in nothing that I do.
Real quick, I want to get, we almost finished. We got to get on the plane. I want to get a marriage tip from each.
Oh, Lord. Not
ladies.
the gorilla.
After we shout out our sponsor, Organifi, shout out to Organifi just for rocking with us for the last, I don't know, however long, man. But we got some exciting things that, we want to do with them and keep bringing you guys a great product. The Organifi, tell them how I've been on it, boo.
He has been a little bit annoying. Oh, give me a packet, give me a packet.
Oh, I gotta have my packet.
Give me a packet.
Oh, y'all got to see Candace. Y'all don't see her. She's scratching her arm.
Like I'm shooting it.
Yeah.
Give me my packet.
Yeah, Holly Berry. She like Holly Berry.
He's asking me, is it in your purse? Is it in your purse? Where's the packet?
I always gotta-
What show was that with Holly Berry? I don't want to mess up.
Losing Isaiah.
Losing Isaiah. Thank you, Candace. She was like,
No, I got to make sure I got it, especially we're going to be away from the house for a long time because I forget it. But yeah, no, man, you already know, just great ingredients. Man, they do it the best. There's some other companies out there that try to do it, but Organifi does it the best. And they have a whole product line now to keep your health in order and stay balanced. So
balance.
Organifi, ORGANIFI.com. Use the
some in
promo
your ear,
code
Carl.
SUCCESS.
Right, balance it out.
Yeah, use the
Put it in your
promo
ear.
code SUCCESS, man, and get 20% off for real, man. It's about to be the new year. Get on it now because, if you get a head start on the game, the health game, you're going to be much better for it. Also, Carl, we got Black Friday coming up.
Yeah, y'all do not want to miss this.
We have
Black
our
Friday,
biggest Black Friday sale, I think, ever. Breathe You. Can we say, Carl? Carl's looking at me. I'm like,
U-turn.
U-turn is U-turn. Just I'll put it like this.
U-turn
y'all.
is the series. We have an exclusive offer for Breathe University. All right, this is going to be our best Breathe You offer ever. And the ladies are here. They can tell you how amazing our Breathe You family is. They are a part of it. They've been, a part of the movement for a while, man. And it's just been incredible to watch the level of family and, the things just go to the next level. Candace is actually in one of the BU Lady Lioness groups, and they get together on the phone, every other morning or something like that. And it's just an incredible community that we've built. So if you're ready, it's the New Year, it's Thanksgiving. It's time, right? It's time to make that move and get attached to a movement. You guys have heard us talk about it forever. Now's the best time. You guys get discounted tickets to events. There's all kind of stuff going on, and we're having our biggest Black Friday sale ever. So go to breatheuniversity.com. Check out the offer. By the time you guys are listening to this, we should be rocking and rolling. So right now, as soon as you turn the podcast over, go to breatheuniversity.com, man. Check us out. Become part of this amazing community that we've built. It's only growing by the day, and things are amazing. So thank you guys. And all our current members, thank you guys a million. Absolutely. It's awesome having you guys. You guys are literally like family. I know, babe, when we had your father passed,
Absolutely.
They sent flowers. It was a lot of love. And so just thank you again to our BU community for being so incredible.
And I just wanted to jump in. Sorry, I didn't want to take over the podcast, but just to reiterate how important it is another card. Praise God.
I forgot about it.
Just having that community, everything that you guys talk about on the podcast is only possible by a community of people holding you accountable. If you're trying to do this by yourself, it's not going to work. So having that community, and I know for me, having the women, and I'm kind of a part of the bigger group, but I'm really part of the smaller group, and just having those women there to, be there, talk through some things, stuff that I couldn't talk to my husband about, just having that support system, because my family and my core was here in Lansing, so being in Atlanta and not having that and having all these women all over the world pretty much there to support me, that was just transformation, transformative.
And the women have their own meetups and, things of that nature.
Awesome.
And it really is incredible community, man. And we would love for you to be a part of this family we got going on. Books are being written, man, weight being lost. It is the biggest accountability community that you could possibly have. So if you need some accountability, you need some new friends, some positive friends. For those of you always saying, oh, I'm on the grind and I'm trying to get to the next level, but my friends, you come join BU, be a part of our family, man, and we're looking forward to it. E, what do you got? What do you got over there?
Yeah, this is BU again, BU strong. Not necessarily the more positive news, but just show you how much of a family we are. We lost one of our own, Brian Washington, Brian was at the very first conference in Hartford. He was at Arizona. And we're gonna have to do something special for him and the family. And that's not, I don't even have to say it. Everybody from BU been hit me up strong, but he was also coming to the cruise. So we're gonna have to dedicate, he had paid for the cruise, and he had sent out a big blast about how excited he was about getting on the cruise. So he had been rocking with us since day one. You know, when Dee Dee said, you know, for her, it's almost unreal. It's unreal for me, some of the things that are happening, but his sister requested, before, you know, he took his last breath a couple nights ago, they requested that I did a video saying he just wanted to hear my voice, you know, for the very last time. He just wanted to hear. So I sent a video to him. And so that's the kind of stuff, like I said, man, that's next level stuff. That ain't no business, money making, all that. So so for real, this is a family.
Rest in peace.
And so his BU family is like supporting the sister,
it's crazy.
supporting the family. So I love them, man.
I don't know how,
and here's my thing, like, I don't know, I hear law of attraction and all that, but I don't know how we picked the people who are, like, we didn't pick them, but the people who are a part of BU and how they've taken ETA and blown ETA up. Like, they doing stuff for us free of charge and making sure that the gaps, they ain't calling us and criticizing. Y'all ain't doing this and ain't doing that. They like, yo, y'all ain't doing this. Do y'all mind if we do it? And we like, go for it. So yeah, this is a family for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, rest in peace, man. That is a hard thing to deal with for the family. Of course, we just went through something similar, man. And having a community and people who love you and care about you. And I can't. How many times did I say, man? Like, I just feel the love. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, definitely, man. Shout out to him and his family. Rest in peace. Real quick, ladies, because we gotta go. We don't know when y'all coming back on next week. We can get back to our regularly scheduled.
If y'all can get Ken to go ahead to give us the mics without y'all, would be lovely.
He's
gonna lose his job.
Look, I'm sure y'all will probably get more views than you. Gotta go get your own sponsors though. We keep them Organifi.
I'm sure
Organifi will jump on quick.
With us.
Real quick, give us a marriage tip, and then E, give us a happy Thanksgiving nugget. And we'll be up out of here. Let's start with go for it, babe.
I think for me, it would just be accountability on yourself. Like, hold yourself accountable for if you want a certain thing, if you have a certain expectation, if you're expecting something, like, you have to do a part in getting that thing. Specifically for me, and it's so funny, the day that I didn't know what CJ's 100-day challenge was going to be. And I didn't know when he announced it to you guys, because I listened to the podcast.
I make money moves.
And so that morning, part of my 100-day challenge was making sure that I started writing more, just like when I had my quiet time, writing down my reflections and stuff like that. So that morning, I wrote down, stop complaining to your husband about quality time. I wrote that morning that he told me his dedication was to me. So it's like I had to take that accountability to say that I'm not going to complain anymore. If I want to have more quiet time, I'm just going to be around him more. I'm going to go downstairs and sit next to him while he's watching the game. I'm going to do it. And then, I got to take that accountability. And it just so happens that it all ended up working out with him doing it too. And it just was crazy. So I would just say, take some accountability. Don't just complain to your spouse, you're doing this wrong. How can you help? How can you make the difference? So take some accountability on charging your own battery. That's what I
Mine is date your spouse. Like, date your spouse. It's the weirdest thing. It's like when you go to the altar to get married, it's almost like you're in court and someone's giving you a death sentence. It's like, damn, for the next 50 years, you're going to be right here in this little house.
I make blood moves.
It's like, wow. Date your spouse. And, most people are like, we don't have money. We don't have a babysitter. That's fine. You put your babies to bed at 8 o'clock, you go downstairs, you set up a movie theater, you have popcorn, you can have scavenger hunts. It's a ton of things. It's just like, wow, when we get married, we just feel like that's just it. We in this thing, we got it, it's sealed, it's a deal, and we don't have to work toward it anymore. So, no, work toward your marriage, date your spouse, have fun. You don't have to have a dime. You can run around the house butterball naked.
Hold on now. We're empty nesters. I'm saying we're empty nesters. You might not want to get him that information. And Ken, if you have a way of doing it, if Jalen or Jada are listening to the podcast, Blank that part out right there. They ain't never heard their mother say butterball naked. Meet me at the altar in your white. I make
Just play hide
bro
and seek.
get
You know
moved.
what I'm saying? Just do what you need to do to keep the romance and the fun and all that
The
going.
romance.
Yeah, no
Love it.
doubt. Yeah,
good.
appreciate those nuggets. Also, ladies, y'all will be on the cruise, so they get a chance to meet y'all on the Phenomenal Life Cruise in March. So go check us out, phenomenallifecruise.com. Come meet these lovely young ladies.
Is it over? Can you still?
No, we still got a couple more.
Do it.
Okay, I thought it ended in.
Not the same way, but you still can.
Oh, another
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can't get the super.
Right, you can't get.
Call
the
me
same-
on the side. I might better
Okay.
get y'all that super deal.
That's flamingo.
So yeah, but they can still go to the website and okay. Phenomenal Life Cruise, man. We're looking forward to that. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. You know, hope you got a chance to sit back, eat some turkey, some vegan turkey. They got the happy vegan Thanksgiving that they doing.
Did you see that?
They doing
Did
chicken.
you see that? No. Did you see the video? It's a rapper that did it's fire. He did a vegan Thanksgiving thing. I was meant to send it to you, but I didn't.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't see
fire.
that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah, but Didi already told me though we not. I mean, I'm not. I asked her, "Do you want me to make it?" She's like, "Nope, you can make turkey for my family." I don't want any turkey, but she like that dressing. I need that. I need it the right way.
The dressing was coming
She said
out
I
the
needed the
oven
right way.
when I was leaving the
She
house
said I needed the
this morning.
right way. I said,
Yeah.
"You don't want me to ask him not?" It's like, tell me to give it to me the right way.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, "I got you. Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving."
and happy holidays, man. Take
Yes.
some time during this
Yes.
holiday, spend it with the fam. Man, relax, you know what I'm saying? Just have some quality time. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Dave.
and even if you don't have family, like don't get down in the dumps. Like
Yeah.
Thursday is seriously, it's just another Thursday. You know, you get so caught up into the holidays, and I'm not booed up, or I don't have a family. No, you love on yourself. This is just another Thursday, so don't get caught up into that either.
Well, ladies, we thank you. It
don't
wasn't
spend no money.
too bad. It started off a little
It started off a
rocky.
little rocky.
Hey,
You had to steer the
Tamisha
ship.
wasn't here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You had to steer the ship.
Right, Tamisha wasn't here, so that helped a little bit with, we only had 2 instead of 3.
2 against 3.
But no, thank y'all, man, and we will definitely have y'all back on in another 98 episodes. We'll get y'all back on.
Shout out to Ken. Thanks,
shout out
Ken,
to
for
Ken,
getting us
just-
mic'd up.
Ken was starring on the podcast last week, man.
Yeah, he was.
So no, E, get us out of here, man, so we can go catch this flight. Love y'all, thank y'all.
Yeah, love you too, man. You have a safe flight back. Hey, everybody that's listening, just do me a quick favor before I give you the nugget. Just think about what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, think about what you want. All your dreams, all your goals, right? And not only think about it as if it could happen, right? And what I'm gonna do, CJ always says, reverse engineer, right? So I'm gonna show you how to get all of it, right? So just think about it. Whatever, car, big business, whatever. You got your own building, whatever. All right, so you ready? Have you thought it through? You got it? All right, okay, I want you to think about it. All right, got it? All right, so here's a secret to success. This is how you're gonna get everything you've ever wanted. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Listen to me. Watch the first word. Everything you say you ever wanted, I'm showing you how to get it. Watch. Give. Watch how it starts. Give. Right? It didn't say grind, hustle, be manipulative, out talk. No, listen. Give, and it will be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured in your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be used to you.
Yeah, appreciate that nugget of the day. Ladies, thank you. Appreciate y'all listening. Go leave us that review. We'll see you next week.
Baby.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart.
What's going on, podcast family? Hey guys, before you get out of here really quickly, I just wanted to come back and remind you, we talked about it a bit in the episode, but this Black Friday, guys, it's going down. It is going down. What are you talking about, Carl? What's going down? Our Breathe University prices are going down, guys, to the lowest we've ever had them. Listen to me carefully. While you get that leftover turkey, You want to have your computer or your phone right next to you, guys. This is an opportunity of a lifetime to join a community, man, that I cannot explain to you what's happening. I'm talking about we are seeing new businesses start up. We're seeing relationships form. We're seeing marriages saved. We're seeing some incredible things as the community, guys. We're adding new content. We have some new sales courses. And this is the perfect opportunity, guys, to get that 2018 started correctly. Listen to me carefully. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. These are our lowest prices. Listen to me again. These are our lowest prices. So be on standby, guys. Again, get that computer, get that phone, whatever you need, man, and just be ready come Black Friday to seal this deal and just start 2018 off with us as a family. I mean, holding you accountable to whatever you want to set out. All right. So I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the holidays, man, and take care.